It's day 13 of the hush money trial. Trump posted then quickly deleted a social media post, leading to speculation that a high-profile witness would testify today. Here's Trump arriving at court.
Why'd you delete the Truth Social post?
Mr. Trump, why'd you delete the Truth Social post this morning?
Are you a victim of extortion?
So the country is on fire. There are protests all over the country. I've never seen anything like this. Many graduation ceremonies are being canceled. They canceled, as you know, in Colombia, they're canceling a lot of them. And we have a president that just refuses to talk because he can't talk. You know that. So does everyone else. Some of the statements made about this witch hunt on CNN, fake news CNN, Michael Moore said the proof of falsifying records has not been accomplished. On Good Morning America, they said, we heard that expense payments to lawyers are legal expenses. You pay a lawyer expense payments. We didn't put it down as construction costs, the purchase of sheetrock, the electrical cost. The legal expense that we paid was put down as legal expense. There's nothing else you could say. You don't have to put down anything, I guess. But we put down legal expense was legal expense. Is that a correct statement, Mr. Attorney? And everyone's saying, oh, gee, that's the fraud. That's what they're trying to get us on. The fact that we call a legal expense a legal expense. They marked it down in the books. The check was signed. And the other thing, this was approved by all agencies. Everybody saw this. There was nothing being hidden at all. That's what they're all writing now. There's been nothing hidden. And it went through agencies, and I guess it went through the IRS also. It went through IRS. It went through the FEC. It went through everything. Also, NBC Today showed the challengers that there is no smoking gun, no email or tape to prove the president's intent. They don't have a way to prove that. That's NBC Today show. And then Fox News, Katie Cherkasky, said that the gag order is unconstitutional, which of course it is. The gag order is unconstitutional. So with all that's going on, they have no case. Every single legal scholar that I see, I mean, maybe there's somebody out there, some whack job, but for virtually everyone that I've seen, I said there's absolutely no case. It's a case that shouldn't have been brought. The previous DA wouldn't bring it. Bragg didn't want to bring it, and he brought it because I'm running in number one place. This all comes out of the White House and crooked Joe Biden. This comes from the White House, and it's all Biden because it's an attack on his political opponent. That hasn't happened in this country. It does happen in third world countries, but it hasn't happened in this country, and it's a shame. And the trial is a very unfair trial. It's a very, very unfair trial. The good news is they have nothing. Thank you.
Why is it unfair?
Mr. President, do you plan on testifying?
Why is the trial unfair?
The first witness of the day was Sally Franklin, who works with Penguin Random House, which published several of Trump's books, including the book titled How to Get Rich. This book in particular gives details from Trump on managing businesses and goes into great detail on Trump's check-signing processes and habits. Then things got interesting, as it was time for Stormy Daniels to take the stand. The former porn star who received the hush money payment from Trump after their alleged affair. At the start of the day, Trump's lawyers made a last-minute objection to try to keep Daniels from testifying, which ultimately failed. Here's a sketch from inside the court showing the prosecution asking Daniels questions about the affair and the details of the hush money payment. Trump's team objected to almost every question asked to Daniels, and the frustrated judge often sided with Trump's team to try to keep things moving. Much of what we heard wasn't new information. Daniels has given interviews before and even written a book. In regards to the hush money payment, she saw it as a win-win because she didn't want her partner finding out about the alleged sexual encounter and she would be paid. Daniels said that the money was paid late. and she signed the agreement using a fake name, Peggy Peterson. Ms. Daniels said she had been invited to Trump's hotel room for dinner, having met him briefly at a golf tournament. She told the court she told him off for being rude and pompous during their conversation and spanked him right on the butt with a rolled-up magazine. He was much more polite afterwards, Ms. Daniels said. Trump, who was bound by a gag order from intimidating witnesses and jurors, appeared to be mouthing the word bullshit as she told the story. Trump's lawyer then called for a mistrial over testimony made by Daniels, but that motion was quickly rejected, although the judge did agree that Daniels overshared some details and was surprised at the lack of objections from the defense. Stormy Daniels will be back on the stand later this week. Here's Trump leaving court.
What do you think of Stormy's testimony?
So this was a very big day, a very revealing day. As you see, their case is totally falling apart. They have nothing on books and records, and even something that should bear very little relationship to the case. It's just a disaster for the DA, for the Soros-backed DA. It's a disaster. This whole case is just a disaster. If you read the legal scholars, you'll see, because they're writing about it, they've never seen anything quite like it. And neither have I. I should be out campaigning right now. We're leading in all the polls. I'd like to be campaigning, we'd be leading by a lot more. But I just want to appreciate the job you're doing. It's not easy standing there all day waiting, but you're hearing the same things that we're hearing. On another matter, as you know, it's Biden's backers that seem to be funding what's going on with the Palestinians. They're probably not Palestinians, they're agitators. Bad agitators, really bad. And I think our government ought to find out who they are, where they're from, and treat them the same way as they do the J6 hostages. You got to treat them the same way. These are agitators. They're really hurting our country. It's happening all over the country in cities. You saw what happened last night at the Metropolitan Museum. These are agitators. And in some of the colleges, I think it's about 20% student and 80% others. So this is a big problem, and they better nip it on the bud. And it's a problem from the left, not from the right. This is a problem from the left. And I hope you're going to stress that. The economy is not doing well. You see inflation is through the roof. They're not going to be able to lower interest rates. If they do, it's purely political. But it'll be very bad if they do from the standpoint of getting rid of inflation. You have to get rid of the inflation. Inflation, as you probably have heard me say, it's a country buster. It busts countries, and it has for 1,000 years. You go back and you look at old-time Germany, you look at a lot of countries that went through the kind of inflation we're going through, and they're busted. They are just broken up in many cases into little pieces, and that's what could actually happen to us. So we have to get inflation under control. We have to get prices down so that people can breathe, people can live, so they can live. But again, this was a very revealing day in court. Any honest reporter would say that. I would recommend you read Jonathan Turley and Andrew McCarthy and Alan Dershowitz, Greg Jarrett, Mark Levin, very talented people, and others. There's some incredible people out there that are writing about this trial. They're calling it a disgrace. It's a disgrace. In the meantime, I'm stuck. I'm here. Instead of being in Georgia, instead of being in New Hampshire, instead of being in Wisconsin, and all the different states that we wanted to be in, we're not able to be there because we're stuck in this trial, which everyone knows is a hoax. Thank you very much. Thank you.
What's so revealing today?
Should there still be a mistrial?
Why is the case a disaster?
That's it for day 13. If you want more updates on this trial, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. Until next time.